Hey everyone, it is Havel High here, bringing another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We are on Global, and we're doing a team building video for the Dokkan Punch Machine event. Finally has arrived on Global. It's been on JP for quite some time. So hopefully this video will help you get some insights on the basics, on the strategy you'll need to do as much damage on these punch machines and get those awesome rewards. So with that, if you are new to my channel, of course, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's get right into it. Oh yeah, shout out to DBZ Space and the Dokkan Wiki for images provided. So let's talk about the Punch Machine event. You're going to go into the event section and then go into the challenge tab, and there you are. It says twice a day. It's a little misleading because you can actually do twice a day per stage, and there are 3 stages. The 3 stages you'll be able to do is the rewards are Zenny, potential orbs, and of course the all precious dragon stones, the ones that we want. And basically the event is a 2-turn event, a full rotation, and that's all the chances you get to hit these punching machines. You get 5 targets, and using the strategy, typically you're bringing a particular type advantage, and you want to target the one that you you have the advantage on. So you know, if you have if you're bringing a tech team, you want to hit the AGL one. If you're bringing a physical one, you want to hit the int one. So how much damage you need is pretty incredible and very, very difficult to do, and you will have to get 77,777,777 per stage to maximize the rewards on the Zenny, the potential orbs, or the Dragon Stone. So very, very difficult to do. Actually, of recent, when I'm making this video, there has been a post and a video. So shout out to, of course, The Truth, always great and fantastic information. I'll put his video in the description below, and then also Lollygami doing some calculations on the 2 teams that can actually do the 77 million. So I'll put his link on the description below as well. So yeah, very interesting that there's only 2 teams that can do it, but hopefully this video can help you get as much rewards as possible with some basic knowledge and the strategy to nuke. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to nuke these punch machines and the strategy in and of itself to do it and build some teams around it. So here's what we do. All right, to nuke to use the strategy and to nuke, you're going to have to start with first nuke leaders, and these are the nuke leaders that you can use that will provide you 33% to each type advantage orb. Now Goten here, he only provides 15%, and it's all types. So if you don't have any of these units, you can actually use the Goten there to kind of supplement. You can use him as like your leader, and you can use any one of these guys as friends, and then use that type advantage. Now it has 2 nuke leaders. I do recommend you use Beerus because the transformation dynamic for Baby 2 is super annoying. So is Super Saiyan 3 Goku there as well, in the strength one. So these are the units that you're going to have to use a strategy to get to the maximum amount of damage possible. Now you don't have to use the strategy. You can just go ahead and do normal teams and try to hit as hard as you can on one target and see what you can do. But that's very, very difficult. So this is the best way to do it. Then when you have a nuke leader, what you're going to need then is you're going to need a nuker. So these are just examples. There are some other options you can use as a nukers, and but I will go into a little bit more in depth when we go into team building for each advantage or type advantage. After getting a nuker, which does all the damage for you, you got to make sure, since we are able to use any items, right? No items being able to use, we are going to need orb changers. Once again, these are just examples. There are a lot of orb changers as units there, so you're going to have to find the right mix and make sure that the RNG is there to make it happen. And finally, if you're missing some orb changers or you're missing some opportunities to end up supporting your team, you are bringing some support units. Generally speaking, Turles and EZA Kit Buu is globally, you can use them on any team. But there are some, of course, other units you can use to beef up the damage. So that's the general strategy. right? Gotta have a nuke leader, gotta have a nuker, gotta have some orb changers, and some support. Now, you could find some damage dealers, and we'll talk about the damage dealers that are usable to get up to that 77 million. But primarily, you're gonna run 2 to 4 orb changers. So, or no supports, up to 2 supports. 2 is most you want to use because you want orb changers more so than the support units there. So let's go ahead. So basically, once you get your team set up, it's then you go into the match and hopefully get the right turns and the right rotation, and then you just have to pray to RNGesus and go, okay, great. First turn or rotation, whatever you want to call it. Orb changer. You want the nuke leader to really just be out of it, right? So orb changer, change as many orbs as possible, and then sandwich supports into your nuker. That would be the best case scenario, and then your nuker being able to grab as many orbs as possible. The second, of course, is if you're using more orb changers, have an orb changer, then you have an orb changer, support, and nuker all in the same turn there. And there you go, and you might get lucky and grab super amount of orbs and get close to that 77 million. So let's look at some teams that you can, in a sense, build, and we're going to go through each type advantage, and hopefully you kind of understand how I'm showing you on the screen here. So we're going to start with AGL, which in my opinion is probably the weakest out of all of them, due to the fact you're really... I won't say the weak, yeah, I can say it is maybe the weakest. So you're using the Goten here as the nuker. You can also use this SSR Super Saiyan 2 Goku here, but he hasn't Dokkan awakened yet. Once he does, he is on JP. He actually does a lot more damage and is a viable the main nuker here. But on global, as of right now, you're using this Goten. He gets 15% additional to each orb obtained. So it's good, but it's any orb, so there's some advantage there. So rainbow orbs can help them increase the damage on there. So the orb changes you can use there, you know, the Android 18, which changes physical to AGL. Janemba does the same thing there as an alternate. Super Saiyan 2 Goku, he's an orb changer and he's in a sense a nuker, so can be beneficial there. And then you have the Kaba there, and they switch from strength to AGL. And then there's a rainbow one you can use that switches tech to rainbow. Support, every single team you'll be able to use Boo and Turles on, but then of course another option, since you're using the Super Saiyan Goten, you can use that AGL Pan to buff up that 40%. So this is the AGL, and this, like I mentioned before, 15% is what's in addition to the 33, and then if you're using a friend, another 33. You're looking at, let's do the math here. That's 66 plus 15, that's 81% per orb. And then the Goku right there, he only picks up right now 12%. So anyway, that's the AGL team. So the next one you can then use is the strength team. The strength team, it's problematic because Goten, or Super Saiyan 3, not Goten, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he transforms. And when he does transform, it just basically hit restart, and that try that you have, the 2 times per day on each stage, it's just wasted once the transformation happens. So definitely a pain, but the Goku here, he provides 20% per every strength orb obtained, so a lot better. The Barlot there does 15%, so that's the alternative you can use as a nuker. But the Goku there, 20%. Unfortunately, he only does supreme damage, and his attack stat isn't really high, but you can buff him up pretty good there. That's an additional 5%, which 86% per orb obtained. A nice unit for orb changer is that good Boo there, and then you got that Super Saiyan 2 Majin Vegeta, and you have those alternates there, the Fasha and the Gokua. You can use the Goten there for a rainbow change, but it really won't make too much effort, too much difference, because Goku won't get the buff of the rainbow orbs, but you can make a path to maybe another strength orb that can get picked up. Once again, Kibu, Turles, and then you can use a strength Kaba there. Let's go ahead and move on to the physical team. I think the physical team is the Easiest to get the orbs changed. The reason why is the nuker that you're using is a orb changer, and then you can use the almighty Weirus, which changes 2 orbs into physical. So tech and int changes there, and then if you need another tech changer, you can use that Android 17 there. So I think this is a definite possibility, even of getting high damage, even though she only provides 12% per damage. I think you'll pick up a lot more orbs because it's just I think a lot easier to get a good rotation to change the orbs. So you can also use the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, but even though he's 15% increase per orb, he's just an SSR. His attack stats are very low, but you can use him if you don't have the Kefla. So I did put Champa there. Champa is viable on here. He does that 40% on Universe 6, and Kefla is Universe 6 there. But of course, you can use the Gohan, the physical Gohan support there as well. So that is physical. Let's go ahead and go into the first tech team. I will go into another tech team here, but I think this tech team is really good. He does a lot of damage. This is probably the highest I've ever done, was actually with this team here. Got to still work on the final 2 teams I'll talk about. But you're using EZA Cell. My EZA Cell is rainbowed, and he does 15% per any orb obtained. So changing rainbow orbs is going to be beneficial, and but he has the EZA stats. That's really going to be the key thing. Now, Android 17 there, he also has 15%, but he doesn't have those EZA stats. Now you have Android 18 that can link up very well as an Android, and of course you have the Bardock, and then Super 17 there, the Tech SSR one that will change strength orbs into Tech orbs, and then physical orbs into Tech orbs from that Android 18. In this case scenario, if you want to run a support, Boo, Turles, but then you can run not perfect cell, second form cell as a support there. So this is definitely viable. I really enjoy this team here, and it does I think it does quite a bit of damage with those amazing stats of EZA perfect cell. So now let's talk about the 2 teams that Lalagami and the Truth mentioned. That is the only 2 teams that can actually get 77 million damage here, and that is Int Gohan Team, and that's the Int team here. Once again, use Beerus, don't use Super Baby. Super Baby is very, very annoying here, and I just put Gohan. Don't care about anybody else. You could use the Vegeta on here. You know what? I feel bad. I should put the Vegeta on here. Where is that Int Vegeta? Here he is. All right. I don't want to make Vegeta feel bad. That's my boy. So yes, you can use the Vegeta there. He gets that 20% buff, but no LR stats, and Gohan is just a beast here. You want to have those orb changers, strength to int in the Rage Trunks, AGL to int with the Goku there. In this case scenario, you can do the rainbow orbs again, or you might want to bring another orb changer to change it into a strength or AGL, so it can hopefully, in the second turn, be changed into an int orb. So that's the risk that you can take by adding another orb changer, and then you want to bring some sort of support unit here that will be beneficial and help out. So the int Kid Gohan there is the alternative you can use. So finally, this is actually a surprise because you're not using a nuker, but you're using another LR in this team here, and this is using LR Freeku as a damage dealer, not a nuker, to, in a sense, do the most damage you can. So this is possible, very difficult to do, and same thing, you're going to need to make sure that you are creating some additional orb changing. You might, instead of bring the rainbow orb changer, the Gotenks there, you might bring someone that changes orb into physical or strength, so that Bardock and 18 can switch that to tech. The key thing here is you're gonna have to have, as you can see, I moved the Tien. You're gonna need Tien in the first position in the second turn of this to actually make this work, because you're gonna have to reduce the attack, which these guys don't, the punching machines don't attack, but you still have to reduce it to get that additional 77% onto that passive of his, of LR Friku. So very difficult to do, but I guess it's calculated as possible. So definitely, if you want to read up on that and check that out, you know, the links for Loligami's post and the Truth's video will be in the description below. So definitely check those individuals out there. So yeah, that's it. So you have these two teams that can get to 77 million, and then I think the rest of these are viable enough to get you a lot of rewards. So hopefully you guys will, in a sense, get lucky, get that RNGesus on your side, and get some good rotations and grab all those rewards there. So hopefully this video helped. Hopefully this provided you enough information as a baseline to do as much damage as possible. So thank you guys for watching. Keep on Dokkaning, and we'll catch you next time.